regression case or something which is related to regression test case. How do we do those kind of execution in terms of Playwright and BDD is what we'll say in this session over here. So it becomes a pretty simple. What you have to do is wherever scenario becomes your test case, right? Scenario is your test case. Scenario outline is the test case again in terms of a data-driven testing, right? So what you can do is you can just mark whichever test case that you think of as a part of smoke test suite or regression test suite. You can simply make it with @smoke. Let's say if this is a part of smoke suite over here, which runs on a daily basis or whatever the frequency that you have inside your organization. And let's say this is again a part of the regression testing or regression suite over here, right? So you can simply tag it with regression over here, right? Now we currently have only two. We'll be going through with writing a multiple test case. So you'll see over there. But as few of you have asked regarding this question, so I am just trying to introduce a very short video over here that how do we execute the test case in a by taking the smoke suit or regression suit or by using their tag name. Okay, this is known as tagging of a test case. Okay, so you can also tag the test case by using smoke or regression or depending on what you are trying to write inside your test framework. Okay. So this is how you will be basically marking any of the test case which will be a part of smoke or regression. If it is again a part of regression, like let's say a test case as a part of both smoke and regression, then you can mark it with again @smoke and @regression. Okay, we'll see this going forward when we have like number of test cases available. Okay, so how do you run the test case? How do you execute the test case? Here we have smoke tag test. Here we have regression tag test. That means this test case becomes a part of your smoke suite, and this test case becomes your part of regression suite. And the scenario over here is that you only want to run or you only want to execute your smoke tagged test case over here. Okay. So execution of the test case becomes similar to how do we do the execution for the other test case. How do we execute is first you have to run a command which is npx bdd gen, which will convert the test case in terms of a playwright test runner way, and then you can execute the test case by using npx playwright test. So npx playwright test is a command which will execute all the test cases that are available inside your framework or project. Okay, out of this you want to filter out the test case which is a part of smoke or which is a part of regression, right? So in that case you have to provide a command minus minus grep minus minus grep, which filter out the test case depending on the tag that you are trying to provide over here. So what it says is npx playwright test will execute all the test cases that are available inside your project, and when you write it at minus minus grep, that will filter out depending on the tag value. So let's say if you want to run a test case which is only a part of smoke tag, right? So inside the single quote or double quote, you can simply write it as @smoke, and the tag name that you have given over here. At tag name, the similar tag name that you have given over here, that tag you have to provide in the command over here. Okay, so this is pretty simple. npx playwright test minus minus grep, which will filter out the test case depending on this tag that you have given over here. Okay, and you can execute this over here, and then you will see that this time it will only run one test case. Which one? The successful. Let's see which once it generate the report, there you can see which test case it have been run over here. So you can open the report by using npx playwright show minus report, and you can see also the tag name that it have added as a part of test execution. So this is a part of smoke test. So only that smoke tag test were executed in this. Right now, if you want to run the regression suit again over here or the some other tag test case, then you again have to follow the same process, which is npx playwright test minus minus grep, and then inside a single quote or double quote you can write it as @regression. At the rate regression is the tag that you have given inside the test case. Okay. Now you can see this time it is running three different test case, which is a part of the data driven testing over here, which is basically a part of data driven testing. So this is how we execute the test case depending on the tag name. Now, the question is like every time you have to write all these kind of things over here, right? Like npx playwright test minus minus grep and this regression and so on. Instead of that, what you can do is, instead of that, let's copy this command that you have given for regression. Instead of that, what you can do is we have one feature over here, which given by the playwright. Inside the package.json, you'll find out one space known as script. This is in the form of JSON, and inside this we have a key known as script. So this script will execute the script. This script is a key which will execute the command that you are trying to write it over here. This can execute the command over here for execution of the whatever the command that you are trying to write over here. This will be executed. So in this case, what we can say is we can say it. Let's say regression test. You have to provide inside the script the value inside the curly braces. Again, you have to provide in the form of key and value pair. Key should also be in the form of string and value should also be in the form of string over here. What value? The whatever you are trying to run the command over here. So every time we have to give like npx playwright test minus minus grep at the rate regression. So instead of that, as you are directly writing it inside the double quote or single quote, so you do not have to basically double quote over here. So you do not have to provide this over here in the single quote or double quote. Okay, you can directly write which is npx playwright test minus minus grep at the rate regression. And again, if you want to write another command over here or another key value pair, you have to separate it with a comma and then start writing, let's say, smoke suit over here. Npx playwright test minus minus grep at the rate smoke. And if you want to write the complete test, you can make it as, let's say, e2e test or any other tag name, any other key name that you can provide it over here. But every value will be separated with a comma. So then you can say it as npx playwright test. Okay. So now when you have given this command inside the script, which is available inside the package.json, script is a key. The script member is an object hash of script commands that are run at various times in the lifecycle of your package. So whatever the command that you have given over here or whatever the key that you have given over here, now you have to run it using npm command, not using npx. Npx you have already given over here. Okay. Now you basically have to use this over here using npm command. What is npm? We have discussed in the first first recorded sessions of or the first session inside this particular series. Okay, so first thing that you have to do is again npx bdd gen that you have to execute, and after that you can execute anything over here. So let's say if you want to run the full test case, all the test case over here. So in that case, what you can do is instead of providing npx playwright test, right, that we generally used to provide earlier. So that command now we have given it over here as a part of this e2e key, right? Now you can simply write it as npm run and then key that you have given it over here for that. So as soon as you start as soon as you start executing this key over here, see it basically contacted this package.json, identified that we have a e2e key available, which is a part of this, and that command that it has taken over here as a part of this. Okay, so the same command that it have been executed over here, and you'll see like within few seconds the test have been completed, and for this one now you will get all the things like smoke tag, regression tag, and regression tag. So it works in the same way. However, we try to use with npx playwright test. Now, if you just want to run a smoke tag, so you do not have to provide every time minus minus grep and so on. You can simply write it as npm run smoke test. Whatever the key that you have given over here inside the package.json and inside the scripts failed over here. Okay, simple npm run smoke test. It has contacted this and gotten the command that you have given, and depending on that, it will execute that particular test case. Okay, so this is how you will run the test case by utilizing the tags as well, by maintaining the smoke and regression suite, or if you have API layer as well, that API layer. It depends on what you are following inside your framework. Okay, so hope it will be helpful for you people. And that's about the session. In the next session, we'll talk about the data driven testing using JSON file. Thanks a lot, everyone.